back to Turk and Turf. You're about to get another crack. With me, Melly.
And me, Gary.
First off, though, we've got to like say this. Well done, Chris Dobie. Absolutely amazing. Did you watch it?
Seen a little bit of the first one, and then had to go out to the kids' bowling party. But was following it like on my phone. Absolutely class.
2 out of
2 out. He was
sets.
flying.
And like he had to hit double 8, I think it was. He went from 8s to 4s to 2s to 1s. Missed it. Let him back in.
It can to show you though, it's relentless, isn't it? Like if you let someone in, and they can just build up momentum. Aye, but well done, mate.
Well done, Dobie, because at that point I thought, he's let him in, and to keep your balls at that point, mate, to go on and win it is just absolutely amazing. And I hope he comes and joins us later on. I've got
hopefully
got Gallon on the case there, but Arsenal's howling them up in the hotel. So let's get to the football because we haven't been on for a while. Where we're starting, Gary?
Back to the Carabao Cup.
Carabao Cup.
The Carabao. I think that was the next game coming up. Obviously, at that point, we said how big of a period it was going to be. Obviously, for Newcastle, went into that game. I watched most of that game, and to be honest, I thought Newcastle were quite good in it. To be honest, especially in the first half, I thought they could have had that game probably sewn up. Plenty of chances. Obviously, and then again, doing to the penalty kicks, didn't it? Horrible way to get knocked out, I think.
Who we?
Well, Chelsea.
Oh, Chelsea.
Saying like it's a horrible way to get out, and then obviously there was a lot of people. I seen a lot of negative stuff on Facebook and Twitter and stuff about like Trippier and stuff like that. I think some fans have got very short memories, like what they've achieved, like is a 2 year now on Daddy Howe, to be even like getting to like quarters and semis and finals and Champions Leagues, you know what I mean, within that 2 year period when he took you from the bottom of the table practically. Just a lot of negativity. I don't think it's fair on the lad, like, to be honest.
On Eddie?
And Trippier, like, obviously being the captain, you know, they're saying like, he's like, we need him out. They should be playing the young. It was a Tino and what have you.
But you've got to play Tino instead of Dan Burn, in my opinion.
Aye, that's fair enough.
I mean, we're not seeing what they're doing in training. But he's
he doesn't seem to be able to. Like it's as if he doesn't really trust the squad to come in for these games where it looks like he should be rotating a bit more. He doesn't seem to have the trust in him, does he? Because he does seem to be playing like a lot of the same like players game after game, so it makes you wonder
what's going on.
Aye.
Because for me, like if you look at Lewis Miley, who's coming through, he's cracking him.
Really good player.
So they must have like a good youth. I reckon his brother's even better. But Eddie out. I mean, it started straight away online. We need to start seeing results and stuff, and so you can kind of like forgive the Chelsea defeat, right?
I mean, it's going to pens, isn't it?
It's when it pens.
It didn't get embarrassed.
Anybody can win on pens.
Aye.
But they then got to Luton.
That was always going to be a hard game. Like, Luton haven't been embarrassed by anyone this season. I don't know what people are like on the... online think, but I mean Liverpool, they went there and they only managed like a 1-1 draw. If you turn up there and you're not on your game, like you'll get beat. It's as simple as that.
Very close.
Struggled. They haven't been shown up by anyone. So I think if you get in there and you're like complacent, you will get beat. And I think a lot of other teams will get beat there this season.
No, I didn't predict that. Like I thought they wouldn't have won a game. I didn't think they'd get a point. At the beginning of the season, I thought they are poor, but they proved me wrong massively, and they're giving everybody who turns up their game, even away from home.
They did us. We were lucky to beat them.
We were lucky to beat them. Jeff Turnbull says, "Merry Christmas, boys."
Merry Christmas, Jeff.
All the best.
All the best, aye.
We will tackle Sunderland at some point, mate. But I mean, what was the other Carabao Cup results?
I don't know.
Middlesbrough won, didn't they?
Middlesbrough,
And Middlesbrough, the two would have getting Middlesbrough in the semi at Wembley had they won. Because they got Chelsea, didn't they?
Chelsea
and Borough in the semis.
right,
That's
and
unlucky
then
because that would have been mint, wouldn't it? You know,
and who's the other one? Is Liverpool's? No,
have you not got them there? No.
nah, doesn't get
What's
that
that?
far back.
The last Premier League game.
So, the last Premier League games.
So we'll jump straight back into the tune again because obviously the line is on here. Newcastle on a slippery slope, Eddie out. I mean, you know, like the old school fans, like everyone I've spoken to, you're like, oh, you're absolutely bonkers. Eddie out. You know where we were 2 years ago. He's playing 9 of the same players that were playing for Steve Bruce when they were fighting relegation and stuff. And
the injuries, like, because, you know, like, say, obviously, Jacob Murphy and stuff. I mean, I know he's not the best player in the world, but he was coming off the bench and he was changing games. He was scoring goals, important goals. And the missing, like, people coming on, you know, like, you take, like, Almiron off or something, you bring Murphy in, and he's coming in, he's scoring goals, and it just gives them that little bit rest that they need. At the minute, he's having to, like, keep playing them, and they're getting they look like they haven't got a plan B to me. And
that's why he's sticking with his first 11 and he's
aye,
not changes.
like, I noticed, like, what teams is doing it. Like, when Newcastle's playing against, like, say, the better teams, they're sitting a bit deeper and hitting them. When they're not, when they're playing against the lesser teams, they're much further up the pitch, and they're doing to them what they've been doing to other teams.
Aye.
Like, if you notice for Forest the other day, they're just chipping that ball out, breaking that press, and then they were running through like 4-on-2s and stuff.
But like, what's changed from 2 years ago for them? Because like last season and the season before, you know, like when Eddie took over, they were near the bottom and he brought them up really well. And they went on obviously get Champions League football. Is it just the injuries? Can you put it through just the injuries?
Nah, I think it's probably a few things, isn't it? The work rates obviously went through the roof, innit? Like the wear fitter and stuff like that. But I think a lot of it can be just like the positioning on the pitch. If you're not showing someone as much respect and you're sitting higher up, you break that press, and it's like these are good fucking players. Sorry about the language, but they're good players like that you're playing against here, and you get punished.
Aye.
And I think that's all it is. It's just a few tweaks here and there because. Newcastle's they're still playing good football in spells.
Aye.
They're not like miles away, you know what I mean? They're getting chances, they're missing them. But any team's capable of beating anyone. We've seen that, haven't we?
Oh, definitely, yeah. More so this season, I think the league is wide open and it could go anywhere. I mean, we've got a couple of games tonight. I think Arsenal's playing West Ham. That's a tough game. But what I'm trying to get at here with this Eddie out, right, is when it happens to Man United, it's Ten Hag out, right? Like as soon as like there's a couple of games, you know, a couple of defeats, the pressure's on, and you can't say well that's just because of Man United, because Man United aren't the old Man United, are they?
No.
At the end of the day,
no.
We understand that. I think everybody else has us on a pedestal, thinking that we've got them on a pedestal, but we haven't. But they expect to win every game, but so does every team. Doesn't matter who you support, you expect to win every game. So I'll let Eddie out. You know, like a lot of people have said, if he loses his derby on the 6th against Sunderland, then he's next on the line. And I honestly, I cannot like. At the end of the day, right, Newcastle's been took out. They've got everything in place. They're probably most likely going to end up having a new stadium looking like City, right? Look how long it took City to get to where they are. You had Mark Hughes, Mancini, Pellegrini. You had a lot of managers before they got the final manager. He is a winning manager now, Pep Guardiola. And they are at the top. As much as we're here to admit it, everybody would like to be where they are. And that's through, you know, like having good recruitment, good trainers, having everything in-house, and everybody believing in each other, but more so respect for the manager. Has Eddie Howe, with his CV, got that? I personally didn't think he has.
Do you not?
I think he's a lovely bloke, and I want him to succeed. I do, because you know, like he interacts with the fans and all that, and the gap is quite close between the fans and the management and the players at Newcastle United. Much closer than it is for us. You know, you don't even feel part of the club at times with Manchester United. That distance, coming in with their headphones and that, these lot all interact with the fans and stuff. So I want him to succeed, but is he is he a born winner? And if you look at his CV, no, he isn't. And then he got to the final of the Carabao Cup, and his pants basically, didn't he? I mean, they lost Nick Pope, but really, in reality, they didn't show up that day in that final.
No, I get what you're saying. I just think, I still think they got to where they got a little bit too fast for me. I think like he's recruiting the right players. The players they're bringing in, they are good players. They are making a difference. I just didn't think there's enough of them at the minute. I think they're probably maybe it's another like 3 or 4 windows away from being where they should be at now. I think even if they'd have finished like in the top half of the table last season, I think the fans would have been happy with that. He would have probably been happier with that because there's less expectation on them. I think you get through January. Obviously, they've got the financial fair play, and they've got to be like more squeaky clean than anyone else, because as soon as they step out, I just feel like everyone's waiting for them.
But there was a lot of loan signings and stuff, you know, like, and this is what I'm saying to you there. Look, you know, like, don't get us wrong, I agree with you, you know, like, I think in the modern day with the football the way that it is, and the money, and it costing so much to lose a game, right, I just think that if you'd had somebody who'd won a few things as manager, then last summer, he brings in a lot of more loan signings, a few more players, 5, 10 million here and there, a few million, just backup players, because he knows what's coming. The Champions League, it's hard on the players.
I think he probably did want that, but I think like Newcastle's obviously like you said, they've got like a recruitment thing in place. I don't think he's fully in charge of what's coming in and what's not, and I think Newcastle's looking. They've got like a painting on what kind of players they want. They're not wanting to bring like seasoned pros in. They're not wanting to bring that in.
Right, I agree with that.
They've got to be the right players. And I don't think he's having all that say. I think his hands is kind of tied, and I think I've noticed Calvin Phillips has been like a lot on that one, and Neves, which is loan signings. And I think like you've got to remember how close Newcastle were to actually get to still being in the Champions League. It was like the skin of they were really, really unlucky to get out, I think. So it's fine margins. It is fine margin, and that would have been the difference from them. Like maybe getting that next step players. Like,
so do you think Eddie's shit in his own basket, so to speak? You know, like by getting into the Champions League and doing so well last season, getting to the final. And
I think if he's being honest, he would have probably thought. No, because you're not guaranteed, are you?
No. Will he get time with these owners? I think he will. I think they seem like the kind of owners who are like very united.
I do.
You know, like but having said that, so he's lost against Chelsea, then he's went away and lost against Luton, who's only won 2 games all season. Then against Forest, who've only won away from home, have they? Forest.
No, and then obviously.
And then they've got Liverpool.
It's the new manager syndrome again, though, isn't it? Like that was his first game, and like you
second.
Was it his second?
He got beat 3-2 off Bournemouth.
Was that him in charge for that? Was it?
But then you've got Liverpool, mate. Then they've got the derby at Sunderland.
City.
Then they've got City. Then they've got Villa. They've got a tough string of games. So like.
And then is it international break?
Scenario,
is it international break?
Yeah, that's the international break of March, but there is a
no, in January at the end.
The FA Cup. So the next run of the FA Cup is that missing week that you see.
Right.
But obviously it hasn't been decided yet. The next international break is in March.
Is it March?
Aye. So that being said, right, Gary, say he loses them games. What do they do? Do they stick by him? Still. I didn't think that it's them games that's going to cost him his job. But I think the Sunderland, the derby. You lose that derby, the Sunderland.
Is it a sackable affair? I cannot see them losing it, to be fair.
I just think the modern day fan, like I said before, the Owling fans.
Oh, they'll be all over it. They'll be all over it. They will.
When that pressure comes on,
they will.
You know what it's like. We've sacked 5 managers because of it.
Aye. I just didn't think that they'll like make like them knee jerk reactions. Like I wouldn't like to think so anyway.
Yeah.
But you never know.
Give them the season.
Aye.
Give them the season. Let's see what
who you gonna bring in?
The wall.
Who are you gonna bring in?
To see what he does when his back's against the wall. And that's what they want to see the most. They'll not, like you say, they'll not be looking at these.
Who do you bring in?
Because most teams will not beat them, will they? Liverpool, City, You know, like
You know, Newcastle though, like I said before, I think that they play better against the top teams.
aye,
It's because,
torn up.
and it's because the way they're set up. Like they'll not set up like against Man City the way that they did against Luton or Forest, where like they've got like 6 players with overlapping fullbacks, like beyond their midfield. They'll not
do
set
that.
up like that.
sit
Way.
back
They'll sit
and
back
they'll
and they'll
counter.
counter with 3 players. Whereas that's what's changed a bit for Newcastle.
Yeah.
They're a little bit too far up the pitch. But they'll not do that against Liverpool. And that they'll sit, and that's where they get their wins from, because they'll punish teams if you allow them to, like. So I wouldn't be surprised if they end up getting like a few points where you think they mightn't.
Aye. You reckon?
Aye, and I think that you might.
City's away. No. City at home.
Liverpool's away,
Liverpool's away. City's at home and Villa's away.
right?
I'm sure it is.
I mean, like obviously we'll get to it, but like Villa, I know they've like beaten like a lot of the top teams and stuff like that. But Newcastle dismantled them at the beginning of the season, so that'll be in the back of Villa's mind, and it'll be on the front of Newcastle's, because they'll look at that and they'll say, I mean, you were at the
walk
game the
against
other
them.
night. Obviously, I didn't go to it, but Villa leave like a lot of space, and that
Villa high.
they're easy to break down if you play it right.
That's exactly what Ten Hag, like you say, we will get to it, right? Because the first half, if you ever look at the stats, we were offside 6 or 7 times. I think
Very close.
Ten Hag's getting them in the dressing room and went, look, pretty obvious what they're doing. They play a high line. They continue to play a high line and 2-0 up. And that's what Arsenal fans are saying. Unai Emery will lose you them games because he'll continue his method of playing the high line, when in reality, if he just stepped back and played a normal line, we wouldn't even be able to cut through them. Put 6, have your 4 defenders, we had 2 sitting midfielders, and you're not cutting through them, but they continue the high line and we'll cut through them.
But that's exactly the thing, is what Newcastle done. That's my point, because you're running that risk by having that high line. But what it means is if you turn the ball over, when you've got it in possession, you're dangerous because you've got that many players up the pitch. And that's it. You live by the sword and you die by the sword, don't you?
Definitely, yeah.
But
I mean, that's what
it's
football's
chess.
about. No, it's chess, isn't it?
It's chess.
Definitely.
So
So look at a couple of these, right? Zach Barry saying, have a good one, chaps. All right, Zach.
have a good one, Zach.
Katie Cupcake, oi oi Melly, oi oi Katie. Melly, please try the posh twang. I can do the posh twang as it talks, you know, but yeah, maybe people could understand me a bit more.
Is that because of the Facebook?
Yes.
That's what it'll be,
I
man.
read them and now we don't see the
Facebook.
the subtitles. We don't see them. I don't know how they actually works. House out on this January 6th. Here's Jeff the Mackham.
Go on, Jeff, lad.
Leo Small, the tunes look has run out, simples. Mark Evans, Mark gives them some jip online, doesn't he? I see them on that football banner on Facebook. Both managers' jobs are safe. Fans expect too much, but forget other teams are canny as well. Mark,
Totally agree.
I totally agree, but you've changed your tune, like, because he's always wanting managers out. Hey, lad. Nicola Wallace talking about the old Man United. Anyone watch the Beckham series? That bloke, young lad at the time, took some stick, man. He did, like, didn't he?
It was horrendous.
Have you seen the documentary? It's class.
Really
Posh
good.
actually comes across mint,
Aye.
doesn't she? Like proper normal and like.
You could see like how. Aye.
That was
He
because
took-
England won it. You know, when he got sent off. The whole like
Capello
nation
threw
was.
him under the bus, didn't he?
Aye, absolutely. Katie says, I don't understand how the younger players are trying harder and playing better than the other players. Because, Katie, what happens is the younger players aren't getting paid 350 grand a week. They want to play because they want to, like, shine. Whereas the older players, they've got bigger contracts, they're seasoned.
They want to play in front of 75,000 people. They just want to do that. They're not bothered about the money.
Not bothered with the money. So the younger players will always show more heart. Footballers like boxing, money talks, absolutely. Alright, lads, says Craig C. Doug Wilkinson. You alright, mate?
Aye, yep.
Viva Ganacho, Ethan. Oh, he was mint the one night again, wasn't he? I tell you
Looking
what,
at
he
his
was better
first
than what
hat-trick.
Ronaldo was at this stage in his career. Not to put too much hype on him out, like. But he's
He
like,
looked good doing the right, didn't he?
looks mint. Honestly, he looks absolutely class. Gary Moore just got me tickets for Liverpool v Newcastle. I think they will be on a hiding and out. Well, you probably would have said the same about Liverpool Man United, but you didn't deal out to us, so got to disagree with you. Scott Cooper, Villa folded like a pack of cards. I don't know if they folded like a pack of cards or we just come with like absolute animals and they couldn't deal out to us. They were hurt. They got booed off at half time. You know, like, imagine getting booed off at your home stadium at Manchester United Football Club. What a kick in the teeth. And then they get in and Ten Hag gone. Do you like that? Do you enjoy that? Is that what you want?
They've got every right to do it.
Aye? Do you know what I mean? Like, so, James Brown, what
I
do you reckon
feel
Spurs score will
good.
we got a lot of players out and banned players. That must be for us on the 14th.
Oh, because Son and everyone's missing. Son's away.
Aye.
They've got a few injuries and that.
We're missing Nana and
Saw one of the midfielders. There's a few. I seen that on Twitter the day actually. What he's talking
We'll
about.
beat them anyway.
Uh-huh.
Beat Spurs everywhere we go. Not how out yet, but if we get hammered by Liverpool and lose to the Mackhams, the board will probably pull the plug on him. Toonami.
You wouldn't be surprised, but
You wouldn't be surprised.
you wouldn't be
with DNA,
surprised,
it'd be
but
shocking, wouldn't it?
aye.
Hoddle, not Capella.
Who? Just for the Toon fans on there though. Realistically, if they were to sack Eddie Howe, who would you want in?
Jose Mourinho, isn't it?
But he's at Roma, like.
He's coming to the Toon. He loves the Premier League one, and he loves
I
Sir
must
Bobby
say.
Robson. Oh, he's got a special place in his heart for the Toon. He is who they will bring in. I'm telling you.
Think?
Now. Aye. Yeah, thoughts on how Rashford played? I thought he was better.
Good.
Did you watch him?
Aye.
I thought he was
Excellent.
much better even, and I thought he should be doing that every game though. You know, like you shouldn't have to be dropped to do that. You should just be. He's from Wythenshawe. Do you know what I mean? He's born and bred Manchester. You shouldn't have to be like. But
I think he's had a few home truths told him, and he's. But like you say, you shouldn't have to do that.
Dale Everton says congratulations on your win, lads. What a comeback, well deserved. I said to Gary on the way back, I said I've never felt that good coming to Old Trafford since Alex Ferguson was in charge. It was like the old United was back. Honestly, it was. Now, like we were standing doing it in the turnstiles at half time. Little Melvin and me and him, and he was going, "That crap, they're just crap. They can't even dean out, you know." Like, and this is a 6-year-old young'un. You know what I mean? And like, and I couldn't disagree with him, and I was going, you never know, maybe a totally different second half. We'll go up and see, you know, like.
What? I
Honestly,
had chances in the first half as well, though. You know, like.
you know what?
Other than them two crappy, like, if we're gonna talk about that, right?
Aye.
Right. So I don't know what anyone else thinks. I'm not a professional goalkeeper. I'm not even gonna pretend to be. But surely he has got to at least follow the trajectory of that cross. And if anyone
Use
like,
his feet about.
because he dives down, but no one's touched it.
Aye.
At least follow the ball and catch it. If someone next in front of you and puts it in the net, hands up,
Fair
like
do.
fair do. You can't dean out about that. I get it, but he's went and made a dive to some and missed the ball completely. Like
It was that bloke. Was it Leon Corbin or someone? He was standing behind him, and the referee went out of him, and he went, "I'm gonna run it away as soon as he kicks it." And he's fair enough then. He stood behind him, so he wasn't interfering with him.
Right.
And I think he was in his head. He was in his head. You could see because he kept looking back at him. And he did what he was meant to do. Put him off.
I've seen a couple of them. Like it's happened to other teams, and it's just. Like it was just an early one. It was just. It's
You know
just
what it is?
awful
I've been
goal to
an
kick.
honest, like biggest. I've stuck up for him quite a lot.
I know.
You know, like, but it's getting to the point now where like
You find it hard to back
it's
the block.
it's the basics, Gary.
I know.
It's the basics, you know, like when he's like faced with the ball comes in, the header, like
He's just jump. I know.
like because that second goal, the guy's over the top of him to be able to be headed back for him to just kick it in.
know.
Why are you not like running at your box? You're the only one who can
Try
handle
and
it
claim
in that
it.
box,
I know.
and you're putting that him off that header. If anything, you know what I mean?
It's-
It's the basics. Like you've just said, the free kick comes in, and like. He thinks it's gonna hit somebody, so he stays
So he's
here.
guessing rather than just play the percentages. Try and catch the ball on the way it's coming in. And if someone nicks in front of you, no one's going to criticise you because what are you meant to do when the ball's 5 yards away and someone flicks
But he's
it?
trying to dive on the ball 2 yards from himself.
Aye.
Like,
Absolutely crazy. I just cannot
taking
defend
your
the
belly
bloke.
flop in the swimming pool. That's what he did.
And,
Like, stick your foot out. David De Gea was mint at that.
Aye.
He saved more goals with his feet than he did
Than
with his
out
hands. Aye. Unreal.
It's the kicking out now. It's getting on us now. Like, you've got a 6'4" striker up the pitch. I just think, like, if you haven't gotten out on, you obviously kind of play it out to the fullbacks. Just go and lang to your striker, like, do in the middle. It's not going to get out of touch every time like it is at the minute. Just play to your striker. Anyways, should we get on to the Saturday games? Anyways, go on then.
Gavin David, look, he's still early days at Newcastle. House job is safe. We all know they've been punching above their weight. Still a lot of these players were taking the club down 2 years ago. Unbelievable turnaround. Still operating at half the turnover, the so-called Big Six. Realistically, going to have to take at least 5 years to get anywhere near some of the team's injuries haven't helped, and looks like they've run out of steam a little. They will come again.
Fair comment?
Tax sense. He's I mean, you know, like the title says, is Newcastle on a slippery slope, Eddie out, because that's the modern game. But realistically, we both know, and majority of Toon fans who aren't like the new fanboy kind of people will like totally agree with you. Like, there's no way Eddie needs at least this season. He deserves this season for what he got you last season. But it's a results-based business now, and if you lose against Liverpool this weekend, and then you can't get beat off the Mackhams, I guarantee you 70% of everything you read online will be, he's got a gun. It's ridiculous. We can't have this, man. They've been playing against the likes of Barnsley and Burton and that, and we're getting beat off them in my biggest game of the season, because it is. You know, like, the derby is the biggest game that they'll ever play. I'm about what anybody says. You know, like,
Yeah, it is,
you want your derby to lose your derby to a team that's been playing in Division 2, 1, in Championship. Honestly, it's a massive kick in the teeth, and it'll come. And then that's when you'll see what, you know, like...
What they're made of.
What they're made of. Absolutely, mate. Kevin Hawthorne, good afternoon from Lakeland, Florida.
Oh!
Can you do an American accent or not? Go on,
nah, I can't. Go on.
Welcome back, survivors. Good job. All right, Kevin. James Brown, Millie. All right, that's my name, James. Mancini for the Toon Army.
Is it? Oh, blooming heck.
Nah. Yeah. Martin Brennan, you all right, Brennan? Go on, lads, he says.
Hello, Martin.
In for the Toon job. Rasmus opening his bank for goals in the Premier League. Next Rooney. I hope so, because I've had him to score a hat-trick every single game this season. Aaron Longstaff, who came during the day to show us how to do the thumbnails. Thanks again, Aaron.
Cheers for that, Aaron.
He says, great to see Man United actually press high up the pitch against Villa. Not seeing United work so hard all season. Absolutely, mate. The second half more so, but like Gary just said there, in the first half, I think we did alright, but it was the story of Man United season. We press, we didn't score, and then the other team scores, and it just changes the game plan completely. They went up twice and scored twice. Just the way it went.
Crappy little eye. But I mean, I've watched Man United for years and years and years and years, and that was no different any other game. Like, I've seen Fergie's teams going in at half time too now, doing after two crappy little goals. So it's about the character for me, about how they come back from it. They weren't beat, but that midfield, but that midfield, I mean, as soon as he took McTominay out of there, he actually played Bruno Fernandes as a 10. Like, I've criticised him all season. I've criticised him the back end of last season when he's run out of position. The other night, he played as a number 10. He wasn't deep. He wasn't there. Manu was there alongside... Who was in the middle? Alongside Ericsson. And it's just the right balance. That's what it is. You've got two people that's sitting there, and you haven't got Bruno Fernandes, because when he plays
Ericsson was meant to be fair.
I was, but when you're not relying on Bruno trying to be an 8, a 10, a 7, an 11, a 2, just do your job as a number 10. And I thought he was mint the other night. He was excellent.
When he does that,
that's when he's best.
That's when he's best.
Just do that.
You just do that, and you'll get a game every week. And I think Rashford deserves to start again because of his performance, and I'm pleased Anthony's been like
dropped,
cold shouldered. I think like if Rashford can find his form with Garnacho, that's your wingers.
Aye, that's your front three. Aye. Manu, you're not going to drop him, otherwise fans will be on his back. I mean, because Ten Hag, you know, he's under the same amount of pressure as what Eddie Howe is, and I don't know how Pochettino's not getting the same sort of...
Aye.
I honestly didn't get it. He gets so much sympathy, even though they've went out and spent billions. but he's under the same sort of thing as Eddie Howe. I don't think he's picking these players. I think he picks the team. He trains the squad. I don't think they're his players though that he's buying.
Oh, but they're definitely not his players.
It's just blokes just going on.
He inherited it. Graham Potter got the short straw. You know, like he took the Chelsea job on, and then that new owner came in and bought. Was it Bowley? He came in and bought like everybody, but he put them on 8-year contracts with big contracts, but got them for little money. So for the FFP, like he knew what he was doing, but it just didn't help the manager, and you can see that. I mean, they're starting to show a little bit of
Bits
like
here,
Mudrick and stuff starting to play well.
Awful at the back though.
They
are
really
awful.
Bad.
Like
Nicholas Jackson's the worst striker I've ever seen in my whole entire life. Like,
whether
honestly.
he comes good, I don't know.
I cannot show that comment, but Johnny B says, "Get up, Eddie Howe." He's going nowhere.
I wouldn't change him either. Like you say, you got to give him at least, I think, another couple of transfer windows. I would.
Jimmy Brun can't sack Howe. To be fair, you know I'm a Spurs fan, but what he's done to the club is unreal.
It is.
But they have a lot of injuries, lads. So does everybody. You know, like, but you can't keep blaming it. They had enough on that pitch to beat Forest, in my opinion. Like what they just set up wrong. They could have won that. The penalty wasn't even a penalty in my eyes. I don't think it was soft as out. He's looking for it, and that shows you where they're at. You know, like when they're at home and they're having to like dive to get a penalty. Just go out and play your game, and you'll win. But their confidence is low. We'll see how the next few weeks goes. But I predicted like as soon as Nick Pope got injured, they were bringing somebody else in, and the injuries was as bad as it was. I said on the NUFC Matter show that they are going to have a hard December, and depending how early they can get any kind of business done, and then they've got to gel. Do you know what I mean? Like, could be a long January as well. Thankfully, there's only a couple of games in January for them, but it's still it's not looking good. Like missing out on Europe, I think it'll probably be a good thing.
What for next season?
For next year,
That
even for
means
us.
it hampers your recruitment on the players that you want, doesn't it? That's the only thing for us. I still think there'll be 2 or 3 teams that make a charge. I think if we get Martinez, Casemiro back in there, where you're not playing the same team week in week, you can make a couple of changes and it's not dropping off like massively where you're having to play like McTominay or something. I think that still got a good enough squad to make a charge and make that top 4. I think Newcastle have, like, if they can start getting a bit of form.
Evans, you see,
I just think I wouldn't write anyone off out of the top sort of 7 yet. Because you can put a good 6 games together, and then by the time you're out, you're back up there. I mean, Tottenham had a little bit of a sticky spell. They dropped out, but then they've hit another little bit of form. It's just managing the injuries, and then you've got African Cup of Nations, and we're missing a couple, but I'm pleased that taking the keeper away. Like,
I put on the Man United thing of the day when they said that he was leaving.
Tottenham's missing quite a few though, like you said before. I don't know what other, like, if it hampers many of the other teams much. I don't know.
E-I-E-I-E-I-O, down the Premier League we go.
Oh.
Hey, he's a Toon fan now. Yeah, I love it, because they're tunnel vision, aren't they?
I would love it.
They had a good season, like, we're going to be like Champions League winners, when they won, when they beat PSG.
Oh, aye.
Yeah, we're going to win the Champions League. See you, man, will you?
Oh, aye.
Go on, Johnny, says Alan Brennan. 2-0 our next 3 games: Liverpool, Man City, Villa. I don't see us getting out. It looks like Phillips is coming in on loan as well as De Gea. Well, I agree with Phillips, but I would stay miles away from De Gea, in my opinion. Scott Cooper, defender, should have attacked that ball. Hazard would have cleared it with his big Bergie. Nicola Wallace. Alex Ferguson was the ultimate legend, and another manager like him who stood by his players well apart from the exception. Absolutely agree with you. There'll be nobody ever gets anywhere near what he achieved. Alright lads, all the best, says I in the Sky Creations. I couldn't agree more when it comes to the Toon. We always give the top teams problems, but then struggle against the lower level teams. Must be an underdog thing. What do you reckon? Right.
I just think it's, I've already said, haven't I? I think it's purely the way they're set up, like from the beginning, and where they are on the pitch. That I just think that they're not showing, like, the teams that were around them last year, the same sort of respect, and committing too much to it. I think if you But that's just my opinion. You know?
Tell you what I'm going to do, I'm just going to fly through the comments and we'll crack on with that, right? Because there's loads, and I like to read them all out. Right?
Go on then.
Aaron Longstaff, Onana is our weak link. He makes mistakes every game. He single-handedly knocked us out of the Champions League.
Totally agree.
Totally agree, mate. 100%.
Totally agree.
Sai Kua, who gets on the bus with Onana is slowing the team down massively, stops the momentum. Very frustrating. Absolutely, mate. Definitely.
Does.
Gary Mould, Dominic Solanke, where next?
I would take him at Man United in a heartbeat.
Aye.
I would.
So would I, but I think...
And Ivan Toney.
I'll take Ivan Toney, and I think Solanke will go into the tune.
Do you?
Aye. Jimmy Bruin ready for the next two job, I mean. All right, lads, here's the Gentle Giant. That's Walton.
Hello, Walton, you alright?
Aye. Scott Cooper says, hopefully United. Martin Brennan, get up, says Johnny B. Aye, but he would kick ass old school. Nicola Wallace definitely would. Howard's worked wonders. I'm sure you'll both agree that it takes time to build a team. Sir Alex Ferguson, one of the best there's ever been, but it took him 5-6 seasons before he done out. Riggy, you're right, mate. And it's the same with Klopp. Klopp was, like, for the first few seasons, even Arteta, he was on the brink of getting sacked, wasn't he?
8th first 2 seasons, club.
You know what I mean?
And Arteta.
So it does take a while to get the team that you want, and then playing the way that you want. Like you say, we think the team's just like getting too big too fast, and it's probably gonna be his downfall, to be fair. But I don't know. I could be a million miles wrong, because these owners don't seem like the typical owners who are like very spontaneous and act on impulse.
So just back to that comment there, I'm gonna get the team up from that played against Luton the other day, right? So Dubravka, he inherited him. Trippier, he brought in, been a mint signing though. Lascelles, he inherited him. Shaw, he inherited him. Dan Burn, he brought in. So that's only 2 out of his back 5, because his best defender's on the bench. He hasn't really got another one, has he? Sent off. So he hasn't been backed there. This is Miley. He's inherited him through the youth academy. Gomes, who he's brought in, mint. He'd get in any team in the top 6 easily. Longstaff, he's inherited him. Joe Linton, obviously, who didn't play, but he inherited him. He changed him from a striker, a £40 million striker, into one of the best box-to-box defenders and ball winners in the Premier League, in my eyes. Mint. But he's having to force him back.
Steve Bruce not did that though. Did he not play him there first?
I don't think so. Almiron, he inherited him, turned him into a very good player. Wilson,
a crap player again.
Well, he's just dipped in form. Wilson, he inherited him. Anthony Gordon, who he brought in, took him out the team because he said he wasn't fit enough. Mint management brought him back, and he's been mint. He's just looked tired the last couple of games because he's ran out of legs.
You look very hard, didn't you?
No, I just think like it's easy to criticise someone, but I think if you look at it properly and so out of them he's got Gordon, Gomes, Trippier, Burn, 4 players that he's brought in.
And only Burn really can criticise. I just don't think he's quick enough.
Aye, so 4 players out of a starting 11. I think it's hard to criticise someone too much. Fair enough if he had the starting 11, but that's why I didn't I kind of jump on them too much.
Back in there. That's a good point, Gary. Well put, mate. College Stocks, Garnacho look good on the right, with Rashford on the left way forward. Definitely, that's where they both like to play, so it makes sense to do that. Amanda Webb, I think you need to stay to give him a bit longer. I'm behind Howe. The Gentle Giant, I'm sick and tired of a meal run now. He's standing out like a sore thumb. He's crap.
He's very predictable, isn't he?
He's like Anthony, isn't he? Top 5 teams this season, says James Brown. I'm going to go for City, Arsenal, Liverpool, United, Spurs, Chelsea. We're going to go on 6. I think Chelsea's going to come good.
I think Villa will finish above them.
I think Villa will drop off.
Yeah.
Alright. But that's why we'll do the show, because opinions, everybody's got one, haven't they? Amanda Webb, look at Villa, they're doing great. Hate them, but they are doing good. They could end up there. You're right, they really could. Have Newcastle fans realised they're just a shit list of City yet? Anthony Street. Craig Seagull, Wilkinson didn't think we're Champions League level just yet. Maybe Europa League, but depends on how the season goes now. Hold tight, Fort William FC. Graham Hickson, the legend. Anthony Street, I'll put that up again, sorry. Up the tune says James Roll. Nathan James, it takes time to build a sustainable success, i.e. Fergie, Wenger, etc. The Chelsea model, which can sometimes bring quick success, always seems to fall around the third season mark. But in Chelsea's respect, it's failed this season. They come together a little bit new, but I just didn't think like they'd quite hit it off, have they? I didn't think Sterling should be starting. I think he's finished. Did you see the video going around of him? It's brilliant.
No, I haven't seen it,
What's
but
that wife called?
when I've watched Chelsea, like, I think he's probably been a better
Sterling?
player. Aye.
The last couple of games, you crap. You know why you think that? Because he wants to take players on. He's a proper old school winger. You try and take them on, but he scored a few, like, didn't get wrong. But what's it, Wilma off Scooby Doo?
Right.
Where she runs.
Aye.
He runs like he's got carrier bags, doesn't he? Like your mama's give you them 10 carrier bags to take back from the car. And he's like, oh no! Jesus! Why drop Livramento and keep Trippier in when he's playing crap and bring Burns straight back in as well? Well, I'm off, lads. Crack and watch again. Thanks very much for tuning in, Jimmy. Absolutely mint. Right, let me get through these, then we'll hit a break, because Gary, we're 42 minutes in already.
Jesus. So, Saturday's games. Start with West Ham 2, Man United 0. It was
We're going to miss them.
I mean, for me, it was a game of two halves. We had the best chances in the first half. Didn't take them. Same like Garnacho had a couple of good chances, one-on-one. I don't know, a little bit of inexperience, I think.
You score them too. It's a different game.
It's a different game. Coming in the second half, they had a couple of breaks, couple of mistakes by us, and bang, and it just took the steam out of our attack, I think. Good win for West Ham, but we shouldn't be getting beat off them.
Like a 5-1 defeat to Liverpool as well.
Aye. We just didn't really turn. Early kick-off as well. Early kick-offs.
In London, it's just ridiculous.
I think. I don't know. Obviously, there's a few Man U fans on there, and I don't know what they think, but I just think at times where our wingers, the too direct. Now, like the running like straight for the goal every single time, rather than keep it wide a little bit and try and the Rashford one the other day for Garnacho, and twice. He obviously got the first goal, but he's a little bit wider and he plays it across to the man in the box that's running. Rather, you run in too much and you're cutting everything else out, aren't you?
Aye.
Whereas if you keep a little bit of width. You can lay a ball back. He can drop, and or you can come in at the back post and score. I just think with Garnacho and that, sometimes he's a little bit direct and it just isolates everyone else. He's literally one-on-one.
Everything into like a top funnel, aren't you?
Aye.
You know what I mean? So then,
but
it hasn't worked. So for me, I would just need to get service into the box, and if that means keeping it wide, then so be it. Because we've got fast enough wingers to break, and not a lot of teams in the Premier League will be able to keep up with them, as proven this season. Because had we been able to finish this season, we wouldn't have lost half the games that we've lost. Just because we're so quick on the counter. We watched them, up in Edinburgh in our pre-season, and I was watching and I was thinking, Jesus, these are like. This is going to be a mint season, because the counter was just amazing. Even though we're in America, it was like watching the old United, but then the Premier League kicked off, and we were back to square one again, and they stopped doing it. And I don't know if that's because the Premier League managers know exactly what Manchester United do, so they put a stop to it. But they're starting to do that now. You notice, and there's nothing anybody can do about it.
No.
They're just too quick.
That's it.
But ultimately, defenders are going to be slow, aren't they? That's why they're defenders. And wingers are going to be fast. So you should always have the upper hand. Other than Kyle Walker, you know what I mean? Apart from that, they're not really quick. They shouldn't be faster than wingers.
Nah.
So, but I think it's starting to, I think that win for United is going to propel one. But I say that every time we get a win.
I know.
We'll see on Saturday.
I thought the point against Liverpool would, but it didn't. It's just, I don't know. We're a little bit like Newcastle at the minute.
Negativity around that draw, after the draw.
Aye.
I think because of the way everybody went on, like United are celebrating the draw and that. I'm up on who we are in the Premier League and we are Man City. You're happy with a draw at Anfield?
Of course, yeah.
Simple as that. Yes, we got battered, but what else do you expect? We were playing. We had 11 first-team players off. We couldn't have done nothing more than we did.
Nah.
Soaked it up and they couldn't do that with us. So, it's your fault for drawing. You couldn't score against the weakened Man United team.
That's it, eh?
You know what I mean? We done our job, you didn't do your job. United. Next.
Fulham 0, Burnley 2. We wrote them
result.
off. In essence, we wrote them off. They've picked up a canny few points.
Aye. But then did they get beat last night again? Sure they did, you know.
Did they?
Or they playing the night.
I'm not sure.
know.
But anyways, they
Aye,
got
good result,
they won
nonetheless.
2-0 away
At
to Fulham.
It's Fulham's doing that right now, aren't they?
Aye, they seem to. I was
Got
going.
beat West Ham 5-0.
Aye, and then they can get like spanked off Bournemouth or something. Though it's mad.
Mad, isn't it? The season.
Aye. Luton 1, Newcastle 0, which we've obviously already
what?
spoke. Forest 2, Bournemouth 3.
Mint game, mate. You know, that was their spirit Rose first game.
Aye.
They were lucky. They got a man sent off, didn't they, Forest? I'm sure.
Aye, they were man
Early on.
doing, aye. Did
I reckon it was
Solanke got a
absolutely-
hat trick? I did in that
Did
game.
he?
Aye, got a hat trick.
I wonder what price Chris Wood was. I'm sure he was with 500 or 600 to 1. 5 people in Britain had it on.
What, to score a hat
To
trick?
score hat trick against the Toon.
Fucking hell.
I was sitting in Peters, Margin Peters. The Toon got the penalty. I come through, and I goes, "Is Wood playing?" And just at that moment, he'd been injured in the middle of the park, and he goes, "There's your answer." And I goes, "You know what's going to happen here, haven't you?"
He's going to score.
Aye, and I left to go into the game. By the time I got to B&M from Peters, he'd scored a hat trick. I was like, nah, what a trip it was doing that. Couldn't see the forest for the wood. That's yours, isn't it?
Aye.
Right, next.
Spurs 2, Everton 1. Good win for Tottenham because Everton's been they've been doing well of late, haven't they? And then Liverpool was 1, Arsenal 1.
I said last week, didn't I? You said who's going to be top for Christmas, or somebody did. And I says, we Villa will, because they'll beat Sheffield United.
Aye.
And Liverpool and
draw.
Arsenal will draw. They couldn't beat Sheffield United.
Aye.
They drew ones each with Sheffield United. That was like...
I think they scored late and all that, but I'm sure Villa was another shocking decision. I'm sure they should have had a pen late on or something. I've had how much drink since Christmas, that kind of thing. But
Have a good Christmas.
Good Christmas,
Did you?
aye, mate.
Good.
Aye, very good. Aye, so that was that.
So I'll tell you what we're going to do, Gary, because we're 15 minutes in.
Run the ads.
We'll run the ads and we'll have a quick toilet break. We'll just loop it. We'll be back in a few minutes. Don't leave work.
And then what we're talking about, we're gonna.
Aye, we'll talk about the fixtures that's just happened, and then we'll go on to this weekend's fixtures.
No bother.
Yeah?
Happy
Yeah, we'll
days.
go on. Let's find them. Ads are pretty poor, but just bear with it. Boom. These carpets and beds. Laying our reputation one recommendation at a time. You can find us at 63 Station Road in Ashington, Northumberland, just over the station bridge near the council offices. Email sales@mellysbedsandcarpets.co.uk or call 01670 632216. We're also on Facebook. The best quality around at the cheapest prices. JB Glazing and Joinery Limited, from Ashington and Northumberland, with serving all the surrounding areas, covering all aspects of double glazing, warm roofs and joinery. Call Gary during working hours on 07825 160 777. Or you can find them on Trustpilot, where you'll find JB Glazing and Joinery with 5-star reviews. A1 Fire Stopping and Drilling Service, who specialise in installation and maintenance of passive fire protection, fire stopping and thermal insulation systems. You can email your query to martin at martin.gallen@a1firestop.co.uk or call during work hours 07751 429 045. A1 Fire Stopping Services. Ashington Properties, whose company mission is to create high quality homes for the local people of Northumberland, and whose values are transparency, trust and loyalty. You can email them at ashingtonproperties@gmail.com or call during working hours to 07985 203 094. And finally, if you're wanting to look sharp, Must Cuts down in Newbiggin, a top class barber, you can call them on 07519 077787. Always look your best when you get cut off Muzz. These carpets and beds,
Laying our reputation one recommendation at a time. You can find us at 63 Station Road in Ashington, Northumberland, just over the station bridge near the council offices. Email sales@melliesbedsandcarpets.co.uk or call 01670 632216. We're also on Facebook. The best quality around at the cheapest prices. JB Glazing and Joinery Limited from Ashington and Northumberland, with serving all the surrounding areas, covering all aspects of double glazing, warm roofs and joinery. Call Gary during working hours on 07825 160 777. Or you can find them on Trustpilot, where you'll find JB Glazing and Joinery with 5-star reviews. A1 Fire Stopping and Drilling Service, who specialise in installation and maintenance of passive fire protection, fire stopping and thermal insulation systems. You can email your query to martin.gallen@a1firestop.co.uk or call during work hours 07.
We're back.
We are back.
We missed the game and all, Gary. What was it?
On Christmas Eve, which I think is a shocking date to have a fixture, especially for the away fans. But anyways, it was Wolves at home to Chelsea. Wolves won that game 2-1. I watched it. Chelsea were poor in that game. They nicked the one late on to make it 2-1, but Wolves fully deserved the win. Like,
Wolves did well, didn't they? Who's that manager they've got? What's his name?
Yeah,
Young, isn't he?
Gary O'Neill. That's
O'Neill.
who Bournemouth sacked him, didn't they?
Did they? That's actually who he was?
Aye.
Is it?
I'm sure he got them. Did he get? I don't know. These might not, but I'm sure he got them promoted. Because did they again do and then come back up?
No.
Or did they not again do? Bournemouth.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I think they did, to be honest.
But I'm sure he got sacked. But
He's doing well with them.
Aye.
He's got them playing football, hasn't he?
But
like,
hey, the Bournemouth coach is doing well now.
Aye.
Because they're picking wins. So, like,
so is the Luton. I don't know who that manager is.
Yeah.
He's another young one. He looks very similar to that Gary O'Neill, actually, to be fair to you. We'll fly through these comments.
Couple of young English managers. It's good though, isn't it, to see, like in the Premier League.
The first, no, I'm not even going to see it.
Female official, what are you going to say there? Not
female and
black
referee.
Aye, dear.
Aye, it's mental, that isn't it? That they have.
We'll just need a transfer state now.
Aye,
just to get the.
Right, alright. Eye in the sky, you're bang on, Gary, for who Howe was brought in and those he's been left with. He's done fantastic. In my opinion, we've overachieved at present. We can be so fickle at times regarding changes. Absolutely, mate. You know, like everybody, you know, would say that who doesn't support Newcastle call Newcastle fans fickle because of the way that they're going on. But I think it's the minority, like most clubs. You know, like if you speak to a lot of the older fans. They're all realistic, you know what I mean? They understand, but a lot of them want to be like Man City straight away, and it's never going to happen. Like Paul Fenner has said here, when they brought Eddie Howe in, he wasn't the first choice manager, but he had one job to do to keep them up, and he did it. Since then, he changed the mindset of the players and won their respect, and had a great run. Unfortunately, too quick, too soon. It's a few-year project for Eddie and the team, but if they lose against Sunderland, I fear the worst for him. So have I, mate. In this Monday game. But you're right. Need chance, Eddie is sacked. Not a hope in hell that happens. He pulls all this right back end of January. Have to book it up until then, I think that's it. Stephen Coxon. Nathan James, far too much individualism. Jesus. You know, I'm from Plymouth, you know, Nathan. From Rashford especially. He's long enough in the tooth now to know when to pass it or to be direct himself. Garnacho is learning his trade. He'll get there. Ronaldo was similar in his early days. I said that before, mate. I think he's better than what Ronaldo was at his age at United in his first season.
Oh, I didn't like.
Do you not?
Nah.
Oh, yeah. If you remember though, Ronaldo was weak as out. He had to get toughened right up because he was just going down under any foul all the time, which is what Garnacho is doing. If he is nurtured properly, he has got He's so direct, man. He can fight. Look at the goal against Everton, man.
He's
Like,
direct, but Ronaldo was literally putting people on their ass, man. Like
so
week in, week-
Garnacho.
Nah, he's not.
He put his teammate on his arse twice on.
Nah,
he did.
There's
He
a
put the
ball
keeper on his arse twice.
There's a ball coming in behind. I mean, Ronaldo would be in the corner flag and
You
he'd
watch
be
Ronaldo-
dancing through players. Like
You watch Ronaldo's first season at United.
I will.
He's not as
He come
good
on.
as
He
felt
come on
40 was.
against Bolton.
40 was.
He come on against Bolton, didn't he?
Who?
Ronaldo in his debut, and he ripped them. And he, I think I'm sure Ivan Campbell kicked the living daylights of him because he couldn't get the ball off him. Just different kind of players. I mean, like your directness were Garnacho, but Ronaldo was just deed skillful, wasn't he?
Well, I like to see in 5 years' time where Garnacho is at.
Aye, see,
I think he's a 20, 30 goal a season man. Him like.
he's got to be if he wants to be on that same level, hasn't he?
Imagine if the two got their first choice manager, Unai Emery. Where would they be now? Higher or lower? Lower.
Lower.
For me, he's a decent manager. I think he's had a lot of luck at Aston Villa. Like, to be fair.
He's brought good players in.
But
his signings, they've been good signings.
They have, but like, he literally, you know, like they were like literally on the floor. They couldn't get any lower. Mm-hmm. You didn't when they sacked Steven Gerrard. So if you cannot lift them from that, you lift the players and then you get them believing in each other. And then look at Leicester; they went and won the league. Villa done something similar. I just think. Like, he didn't get sacked from Arsenal for now, and I mean, he was he Villarreal manager? He won the Europa League with them, didn't he? He won the Europa League with them, but I don't know. I think Eddie's a better manager than him, to be fair. Like, that's just my opinion, but he might, you know, like, everybody's got a difference in opinion. George Leck, Manuel will start and click once we get injured players back. We've not played the same 11 twice this season. Not honestly sure about Onana, mate. Not sure if he's got anything between his legs, to be honest. I just think he gets the basics wrong, me, George. I just
which is the most important.
Which is the most important, more so in the Premier League, you know, like, and I'll never
you cannot afford, like Aaron said before there, you just cannot afford, like, especially in the Champions League. I mean, we're outscored every team in that group, and you finish bottom of it. Like,
there's not many teams will go to Bayern, Copenhagen, Galatasaray, score 3,
and you can literally pin a mistake on just about every goal on the goalkeeper. You can forgive him for 1 or 2 here and there, but like 15 goals, like, sorry,
But if you get on a dream team, he's top.
Honestly, I don't know how.
He's top. He's got 144 points. You haven't got that through being crap.
No, we have kept the clean sheets, but I mean, Champions League alone.
Champions League, he cost the Champions League, but he done with a favour in hindsight because we are not good enough to be in the Champions League. Definitely not.
I think we are with a full squad. We miss Martinez massively. If we can get someone to play alongside him. Luke Shaw was missing again the other day. Was he injured again, or they're just like wrapping him up a little bit?
Potentially, aye.
But he wasn't in the squad against Villa, was he?
I think like the back four that's come in for them have done like really well, mate. Like that's you know, apart from West Ham,
Johnny Evans. I mean, there's
Johnny
put
Evans,
a third round.
Like, but he was always a decent player. We should never ever let him go. It was Van Gaal that let him go, wasn't it?
Well, I said that the other day, didn't I? I'm sure there was about 4 or 5 players like in the says like it was. He came in and had like this mass like exodus and like. There was like the last year season pros who was like Evans, Van Persie, I don't know, was like Anderson, and Rooney was still there or thereabouts, but he kind of got rid of them all rather than breed the new players in with the mentality of like the winning way sort of thing, if you like.
But he's Man United through and through. He come through our league system. He won Premier Leagues, did he?
Aye.
I'm sure.
Oh, I did.
Nicola Wallace, obviously I'm a Man United fan, but hats off to Newcastle. They've done well this season, but Blackburn Rovers done the same with money. Min point that, innit? You know, Jack Walker, Shearer, you know, like, it's a min point. Obviously, the money's a lot different new to then.
I mean, I didn't think, like, I get what you're saying, like, about money, but I didn't think Newcastle spent, like, excessively more than, like, anyone else.
Yeah.
Like, so I just think, like, the players that they have bought, I mean, like, 35 million for that Bruno Gomes from Lyon?
I mean, there's 40 million on him.
That's immense. Like, 40 million on him, though.
Isaac was 68 million.
But, I mean, in comparison to, like, say, like, Hoyland.
Compared to the top 6.
Right? 40 million for whereas Arsenal's went and spent 105. And, I mean, I mean, Declan Rice is a good player. I'm not gonna like say he's not, but I think Bruno at 35 or whatever he was, I think like
He's the better buy.
way I think Bruno Guimaraes. I think he's an excellent player, but he's a good player. He's a good player.
Eye in the Sky, what's your opinions on Villa lads? Do you reckon they can keep form and challenge for the title, or will they dip in consistency?
Nah.
I personally don't think they
You
will.
think
mate.
they'll drop off
I think they'll
massively?
drop off. I think that it started last week. They drew with Sheffield United at home. I mean, like a team that was running on form to then draw to potentially get on top of the Premier League at Christmas, and you can only draw with a team that's lost most of their games. Tells you everything you need to know. The company United a week later scored 2 in the first half, losing in the second half by sticking to the formation, which was stupid. If he just reverted back to the deeper back line and put an extra couple of midfielders in there, and that's what Arsenal fans are saying. Like, you lose your games because he sticks to what he thinks is right, but that wasn't right.
But do you remember Spurs against Chelsea when they got the 2 men sent off in that Postecoglou? He said they had done the exact same thing. He says, "I'll never change the way I'm setting my team up again." And they were doing 9 men and. Like they're literally
Still
just
fair.
flying through, but they were still. And you know what it is though? It was still a good game, and they still had chances. I think Chelsea nicked it later on, but
that was City and Spurs.
it was still a mint game to watch, even though it was against 9 men, and you kind of wanted Tottenham to get through it because of the way like the
Underdog.
dug at it, you know. But I hate it when like teams just like sit back and. I mean, we do it. I don't like, but I don't think it's right.
I'll put this on for Nick Lavick. Or blitz clean for commercial, new build cleaning, or void property cleaning on 077 922 49445. There's a little bit of advertising for you, Nick.
Good luck with that.
I hope we get something off it.
Aye.
Craig Cedo, Wilkinson. I'll go through these, then we'll crack on with the.
I was just going to give obviously Sunderland getting a new manager, haven't they?
What do you reckon? Is it Martin Beale or Michael Beale?
Michael Beale from
EastEnders.
no, from it was he the Rangers manager?
Rangers,
Doesn't that much of it
after 6 months.
But he had like his first game in charge, like at the weekend.
Got beat 3-1 the first
3-0.
3-0.
But obviously, no, Coventry.
Did they beat Hull at the weekend? No.
But then they've beat Hull 1-0.
1-0.
Bellingham was obviously there watching his brother, wasn't he? He took the highlights, I think. But
You think Sunderland can keep him?
I'm
What kind
just.
of season he's having?
I don't know. But Sunderland, what I was going to say is to sack your manager and in the playoffs, like, is it bull? Is it though, or do they just think like he was? Because I said,
Took them
didn't
as far
I, in
as
one
he
of the
could.
shows, I said it to Melly in one of the shows, I said, Job was on the bench, and you were like, you're joking. I mean, we don't know if he was injured now, because we're not like that big of followers, but if they have sacked him and they're bringing this guy in because they think the manager was making the wrong decisions, and I spoke to Jeff a bit when he was doing the decorating at my house, and Jeff says we're having loads of the ball, but we're not scoring. So it'll be interesting to see like if that's what
He does. The kind of manager he is.
if they can maybe like get like a few more goals with them, or if they're looking to bring someone in, and they
We've
think
got to
maybe
see Sunderland come up like.
or they think this manager can bring someone in. You know, like maybe he say, look, I'll bring this player with us. Bloody, you never know. But I'd like to see Sunderland get back in the Premier League, like, because although I'm not like a Newcastle fan, I just think it's good for the area to see it. And a lot of Toon fans didn't like it. They're like, I hope.
Look, even the takeover's good for the area. I mean, if I had billions of quid, I'd go and buy Sunderland tomorrow because Newcastle are up and coming. Sunderland are like you could get
Just
them
to
quite
create
cheap,
that rivalry.
and they're there. You know what I mean? They're there or thereabouts. They're not far away. They've got the fan base. They fill the stadium. I know a lot of them say like if
And they only just missed out last year, didn't they?
aye. So
You'd be surprised. Well, like you think why like have Nissan never thought about that? Because they must be like a billion £1 company,
Aye.
mustn't they?
Aye. I think the players don't want to drive running jukes.
Nissan Micros.
I mean, Lola.
Aye.
Craig Cedo Wilkinson wouldn't have ever thought of betting on Chris Wood. You can't say a dead Wood, mate. Jesus, he's just put 3 by you, man. Notching the hat against us just will look that though would have brought can he return? I reckon
Wait, what did you say? 600 to 1 or something?
601, aye. Anyone know where I've put the key for our conservatory door? Oh, Gary Skerfield, is that a dig?
No?
Yeah? You haven't put a new conservatory on for him?
No, he obviously just doesn't know where it is.
Oh.
He's mad.
He is mad.
Hello,
mate.
Gaza.
He watches coaster and he's absolutely bonkers.
Oh, he's crackers.
Kai Rowley, I took the bet on my first game on Tuesday Atmosphere. Jesus, I know they're going through a bad patch, but they need to get behind, not against, if they want to turn it around. Kai, that is like the pot calling the kettle, mate, because you've just had your Jurgen's right, your fans are shite. Jurgen's right. He's a scouser.
Well, he was at the Man U Liverpool game.
Was he?
And they reckon the atmosphere there, you could hear a pin drop. They were absolutely crap.
It's a myth, man. It's a myth.
It is.
There's only ever noise when
You know when they sing? When they're winning?
Ronaldo wasn't great when he first came. Took him a season to acclimatise, says Nathan. Ronaldo changed when his teeth did. Well, Garnacho has just had his teeth changed, so hopefully it's a sign. Nicola, George Leck, it's simple from junior football to Premiership level. Stick to the best squad in their position. Build a family team. Still going back to Man United, Ferguson's dream team treble winners. They were a family, not just a team. You're right. And I
Totally
also
agree.
think Newcastle are like that. I really do.
Aye.
Peter Painter, my opinion, Emery would not have kept the tune up, so we'd be 2 seasons behind now. And I think he would have kept you up. I just don't think he's as good as. Just don't think that he's as good as what Howe is. Nathan Varane's been great against Liverpool and Villa. Excellent, absolutely fantastic. That's what he does though. He comes in, does mint, doesn't he, and then he gets injured or.
You're not a fan of him though, really?
No,
Are you?
I'm not. He's
And I've always said,
massive, like,
and I've
really
always,
heavy bags.
I think he's class Varane. Like when he plays, we're better.
Aye, just more than he could have. Melly, is Gary a Toon supporter? Closet at least. I've just said the same to him when we're having a toilet break. He says he loves it.
You mean when you were having a tab?
Love you, Mel. I need to be a guest on this show. Love it. You've been prominent in the night, Nicola. Thank you very much.
Right. Shall we
let's
get on
move
to
to
the Boxing Day Bonanza?
Boxing Day Bonanza.
That's what it was, wasn't it?
Let's go.
Newcastle 1, Nottingham Forest 0, Wood hat-trick.
Newcastle 1, Nottingham Forest 3, me.
3.
Nil.
That's what I said.
You didn't say nil.
Chris Wood hat-trick.
Unbelievable.
Obviously, Newcastle got that penalty, went 1-0 up.
Didn't celebrate.
Who?
Yeah, but inside. He must have been like a Tasmanian devil, wasn't he? You know, like standing in front of the crowd. Like, oh, look, I'm not going to celebrate, but inside he would have been going, wouldn't you? I'd be buzzing me. I would have went up to Eddie Howe and went, big mistake. Big.
Massive. Huge.
They're just too respectful, aren't they? You just, I don't think he's even scored this season, has he?
Tevez wasn't when he ran in front of Fergie when he went to City and he's like...
Little Argentinian prick.
Men player though, wasn't he?
Mate,
Anyways, so Forest, didn't see that one coming. Like I say, new manager.
I did.
Yeah.
No, I did.
I know. Right. Moving on. Bournemouth 3, Fulham 0. See, Bournemouth again. Really good result.
Fulham totally unpredictable. Win 5-0 against West Ham, get beat 3-0 off Bournemouth. Mental.
Sheffield United 2, Luton 3. Another Rob Edwards. That's what he's called, isn't it? Rob Edwards,
Who's that?
the Luton manager.
You're pretty good, like with names and that, aren't you?
I try.
You said it to him before you come on the show, and like
You would think so, wouldn't you?
Aye.
Do you think since Tommy Lockyer, do you think since that's happened, do you think that gives them an extra like, let's do it for him? He's what captain, like.
It's like Sonic.
It was a good touch
coins.
actually that by the Newcastle fans. Did you
It
see
was.
the
They
banner
took the
that took down?
That's the minute that they tune the flags, like. They win the league if it come to flags.
Who's put that in there? Has the Newcastle owners put that in there, or the fans took it?
I think it's war flags. Or, well, I may be wrong, like, but war flags seem to organise everything like that.
For Newcastle?
For Newcastle.
Oh, right. That's a nice
it's
touch
still a big
anyway.
touch,
That.
aye,
It
absolutely.
was. Really good touch. What's going on here? Where we're up to you? So Luton 3-2. Liverpool 2, Burnley 0.
Lucky. Did you see it?
I did.
I seen they were lucky. They weren't mint, were they?
Nah, Burnley didn't
They
really.
won out late on.
Burnley didn't really offer much, did they?
You
The
think they'll
kind
get
of.
relegated this year?
I just
Yeah.
the one of them teams I just cannot like get away with watching. Nah, they didn't like off and out. They're just crap to watch. Like they're they're just sad in that game. I mean, a bit like watching us play against them, to be honest. And then Man United 3, Villa 2.
United.
Comeback of the season, it's got to be, innit? That's all I can say.
Didn't go.
Didn't go on.
Unbelievable, Jeff.
And then,
Unbelievable. He's
on
got in the Forest, though.
and then on the Wednesday night, Brentford won, Wolves 4.
I know.
Jesus,
I know.
what's happened to Brentford?
I was actually watching the Chelsea game, and then I flicked out at the City game when it started.
I did, that's exactly what I done.
Aye, and I thought Chelsea were lucky and all against.
Wait, I
who were they
did,
playing? Who was Chelsea?
Palace, I didn't see it.
When it went 1 each, I thought, oh, they've dropped their arse again.
Yeah, well, at least he scored. Oh, he's a mint player.
Didn't he?
I'm sure did Chelsea not nearly sign him?
Who
At least, yeah.
Probably.
But I'm sure he got
normally always
injured.
Team, like,
I'm sure he got
pinch up each
injured,
other.
like, and that's what made it like fall through. But I done the same. I switched it to the City game.
Even City, mate, you know, like it was 1 out. They got, obviously, it was a good goal from Foden to make it 1 each. But then they got the penalty, and then I thought,
What do you think that's a pin?
Alawa. Aye, I do.
Do you?
Aye.
I
Because I thought the man against Tottenham was a pen.
Aye, and I but
You know
like
what I mean? Like it's.
you know
I
what,
can't
his
see.
arm come up, but like it was like still close to his body,
Aye.
and it hit him like here and then to there,
I know.
and it was like this. But I just think like if
Where's
it's
his
away,
point to put his arm?
if it's away from his body, I get it. But he didn't make himself any bigger because if it didn't hit his arm, it was going to hit him in the face.
Aye.
I just think,
You can't protect yourself. You've got to allow him to hit it in the face. You've got to.
just eat
But I
shit.
said at the beginning of the season, you know, Man United Spurs, that was a penalty.
Aye, but his arms out, weren't it?
Similar.
Nah, not for me, like, but anyways, so Chelsea won 2-1 against Palace, late penalty. He probably needed that, like,
Definitely needed that.
he needed that. And then, like,
But
you
not
say,
a convincing win, though, all the same, mate.
it's
Like,
not.
them Chelsea fans left that night, and you'd think they'd be ecstatic. But I'm telling you, they're leaving that night thinking, look at there, like.
Aye, especially for what they're paying.
Aye.
Like, they're paying, like, top dollar to watch that team. And every time that Nicholas Jackson, I've noticed recently, which is the difference with Hoyland for us.
Aye.
Because everyone's willing Hoyland to do well.
Aye.
But Chelsea are
Chelsea,
running out
aye.
of patience with him because I think he's getting into mint positions, whereas Hoyland's not getting them chances.
Aye.
But he's getting these into these good positions and he's just tossing the ball away. He's tripping over
He's
the
tripping
ball.
over himself, man.
He's making like a stupid, like he's trying an extra touch instead of just getting shots away.
People might think, oh, you know, you're criticising young'uns and this, that, and the other, but there's millions of young'uns in this country that wanted that chance and didn't get it. If you're lucky enough to be given that chance, you're obviously good, so then you need to perform. If not, then step down and give somebody else a go. Do you know what I mean? It's the way it should be for me. You should get paid on performance.
He keeps getting picked though, so he
Something
must be
there, isn't it?
he must be showing
Shit hot
something
training.
because I mean, obviously Pochettino's obviously had like some Messi and Mbappe and Neymar, so he obviously
sees something,
he can
doesn't he?
see some of that. And then City won 3-1, like you say. First half, Everton done our second half. They
were
didn't
battered,
offer
weren't
out. They got battered. they got battered off a very good Man City
Watford
side.
in my dream team now, he was unreal. Breaks me heart, like, but how I need to win the dream team.
Right.
Yes.
So
I would go on to fixtures. This
tonight's games. Wait, there's games tonight.
What from Boxing Day Bonanza week?
Aye.
Aye, who was it?
So Brighton against Spurs at 7:30. That kicks off in 15 minutes.
Right.
And then you've got Arsenal against West Ham.
Time.
That's at 8:15. For that, I don't know. Like both of I watched the press conference the other, maybe in yesterday or something, and both the managers in this, because Brighton and Spurs, obviously they both like had like quite a few injuries, and both managers like just come nipped in the bud and they went, look, everyone's got injuries. Stop making it about the injuries. I've still got to pick a team. I'm not going to make it about that if I get beat. Like, I've got players out. but I've still got to put a team with. I've got a squad of players here, so we're still.
Did Zebri not say something the other day that he's got to play younguns or something? He's been told from above to play younguns.
I don't know.
Sure, there was something like that. Come on, you guys. Well, you know, I have to play the young kids, I'm told. I'm sure it was like that.
I don't know. Maybe. I mean, they've got a few young lads in the squad there. Like,
I think Brighton knew, you see, because they've got that many good younguns coming through. They've made some massive money off it. I think that's gonna be. They're not bothered with Champions League, Europa League, or nothing like that. They're bothered with bringing younguns through and making big bucks
of selling them on. Aye, because they're never going to be able to keep them anyway. Realistically, so they may as well make
100 million Casino.
Aye,
mental. They paid 5 million a year before. Cucurella.
Yeah, he was 60 odd million.
Southampton used to be like that, didn't they? Can you remember?
Aye, they had a mint system. But I cannot see anything than a Tottenham win. Looking at that, like, what are you thinking?
I think I'm going for a draw.
Draw.
Aye, 2s each. Score draw.
Arsenal at home to West Ham.
I see Arsenal just. I think Arsenal's got enough in their closet to beat them. Like, I didn't want them to win though. I hope West Ham torn up. At the end of the day, it's a derby, innit? It's a London derby.
I'd like
to see West Ham beat them 2-1,
and they'll not. They're a bit like a cream egg.
What are you going for Brighton and Spurs?
I think Tottenham will win. I've just had a look. I think Arsenal will beat them. I just think they've got way too much for West Ham. West Ham, they didn't seem to do very well on the road.
No.
When they've got their fans in, they sometimes get a second win, but other than that.
Right, I'm going to read these comments out and then we'll go on the upcoming fixtures, aye?
Right, go on then.
Week.
For the games.
Sophie Morris, is that your niece?
It is. Hiya,
I was
Sophie.
just thinking that, like, love, that's why you give your sister so much grief. Hi ho lads, here's Mark Atkinson. All
Hello,
the best,
Mark.
boys. Hope he's had a good one. We did, David, mate, and I hope you did and your family did too, mate. All the best. Get up, Gary. Didn't know we won 1-0, thought we got beat. Haha. Sorry, my comment was. Oh, sorry, my comment, not Sophie's, Gary Lawler, man, now web. Don't cry when Sunderland win next week, says Arthur Bushby. Kai Rowley, Liverpool, Fulham comeback of the season. Atmosphere was worse at Toon game, but no one comments on that. Neville loves trying to get one up over us. Wasn't bad where I was sitting. He must have been in the toilet. Good crack with us, lads. Ryan Thompson. Cheers, Ryan. Thanks for tuning in.
Cheers, thank you.
Man, away, who's winning on your prediction board? I was just going to come to that. So I'm looking over there new because
I'm winning.
Behind the camera.
Melly stopped it. What happened was we've done it for 2 weeks, and then because I took the lead, he hasn't done it since.
No, we're just running the tape.
Oh, running the time.
But it's 10.
No, it's 12-10.
Aye.
To
10,
me.
10-12. So 12-10.
To me.
I think we've got one last run of fixtures. We'll make the prediction here because we haven't got the scoreboard ready. We'll watch it back. We'll write them down and then we'll come back and then whoever wins pays the charity, yeah? What was the charity again?
£20.
20 quid, any charity.
But then I says, why do we not do a bag of shopping for
Christmas?
For the aye.
You can get it then. Have you been in Asda lately?
No, that's that's part of the forfeit. That
honestly, mental.
You just missed it on the free parsnips and all.
Never. Come on now, that says Mark Atkinson. Right, here we're going. What fixtures have we got coming up? Please like and subscribe. Hit the subscribe button if you will. On YouTube, it helps us grow and reach more people. We really appreciate it. Like, comment, share, subscribe.
So round 20.
Round 20
is the ones that we'll do because then that's the new round of fixtures.
It's this weekend.
Aye, from Saturday. So Luton.
Friday, isn't it?
No. It's from Saturday, 12:30.
No.
It's not, man. Championship's on Friday.
Is it?
Aye, listen.
Oh no, it's
listen.
What day one?
Eh? It's Thursday now.
Thursday.
Aye.
So from 2 games a night and then in the morning Saturday. Go on then.
Right, Luton versus Chelsea.
In fact, hold on. We've got these pens and cups off Donna.
Aye, cheers
Donna
for that,
Barnes.
Donna.
Thank you very much, Donna. Absolutely really thoughtful. I think they went on a tour to Liverpool today for little Billy Barnes. Happy birthday, Billy Barnes, the day. He's 9 or 10. And little Melvin is 7 tomorrow, so happy birthday for
Happy
tomorrow,
birthday, Melvin,
I thought
for
Uncle
tomorrow.
Martin would have getting Chris Dobie on forward, but it looks like they've met it new, because obviously Dobie won and too big for us, Gary. I was expecting to see him come jumping into the studio here at some point, but he hasn't. Never mind. See, there's a bit of paper on that bin next to you. You want to write these scores down?
I mean, to be fair to Gallon, though, they mustn't have getting sorted yet because he's normally a diehard on here, isn't he?
Aye.
So they mustn't have.
Aye. He'll be mortal, man. He'll be buzzing. Just won what a game he won, didn't he?
I know. Be
I
trying to
would be.
pull
No,
him.
no. Dobie doesn't drink, you know.
Eh?
I was speaking to him yesterday on the way down, him and Gavin, they were driving down yesterday. He doesn't drink, because I said to him, do you get pissed before you got on the stage? And he went, nah, I'm probably the only one that doesn't, I don't drink. And I was like, really? I says, you should try it, you should try getting pissed and thing. He said, I'll end up putting somebody's eye out. Right, what's the,
Luton Chelsea.
Luton, Chelsea. Next one,
Villa Burnley.
Villa, Burnley,
Palace Brentford.
Palace, Brent,
City Sheffield United.
City, Sheff, United,
Wolves Everton.
Wolves, Everton,
Forest Man United.
Forest v United,
Fulham Arsenal.
Fulham, Arsenal,
London Derby again. Spurs Bournemouth.
Spurs, Bournemouth,
Bin Dippers the Toon.
Liverpool v Barcodes,
West Ham Brighton.
West Ham, Brighton.
That's for the shopping.
That's for the shopping. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You're right, Gary, lad. Right, Luton Chelsea, what are you going for? Gary Melly.
Luton Chelsea. I'm gonna go in for a Luton win. I'm gonna go 2-1 Luton.
2-1 Luton.
Aye.
I'm going to go on ones each. Gary's gone 2-1 Luton. I'm going ones each. Villa Burnley.
I am gonna say a 3-1 Villa.
3-1 Villa. I'm going to go on ones each.
Palace Brentford. You close the blinds, wouldn't you, if it was in the back garden?
Aye. Definitely.
Ones each.
Ones each. Palace and
Aye,
Brentford.
can't-
I'm going to go on 3-1 to Brentford.
Jesus. City Sheffield United.
Shitty and Sheffield
Four.
United.
5-0 City. 5-0 City.
Well, I think I'll go for 4. 4-0. I can't see Sheffield United getting anywhere near the goal.
Can't even see them get to the
No.
that one half. Wolves Everton. Ooh.
Good game.
Aye. Aye, but to I think I'm gonna say a 1-1 draw again.
1-1 draw, Wolves and Everton. I'm going to go on...
Can I pick one out there, like?
I'm going to go on 2-2. I just think...
Desmond.
I think it'll be goals.
Desmond 2-2.
Forest and United. 5:30 kickoff. Mid-time.
1-3.
1-3. And Gary, I'm going to replicate that, mate.
You think the same?
Aye.
There?
Aye. Chris will not score against us.
Watch him score, Harrick. Fulham Arsenal. I cannot say I'll put an Arsenal win there. I'm going to go on 2-0 to Arsenal.
2-0 Arsenal. I'm going to go on for 2-1 to Fulham.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Jeez. Spurs Bournemouth. Young Min Son's last game before he goes off to...
That's in that, I don't know, isn't it? That's all they've got, really. Richarlison's crap.
I'm going...
He scored like the last couple of games, hasn't he, Richarlison? Just reminds us of a proper naughty kid, doesn't he? Can't get his own way and he starts like spitting his dummy out and like...
Little shitbag, isn't
Aye.
he? I'm going to say 2-1 Spurs.
2-1 to the Spurs. And I'm going to go on the other way and say 2-1 to Bournemouth. Need to try and win this.
Liverpool against Newcastle.
Yeah.
I think...
4-4.
No. I'm gonna
Remember
go.
them games?
Aye.
Keegan line all the top of the board.
I'm gonna go.
Collymore
I'm
last
gonna.
minute.
I'm gonna go 3-2 Newcastle. I think it's gonna be a good game. I think.
You're right, Jeff. He's a secret closet Toon fan.
I do. I think I'm
Got too
gonna.
much influence on him in the pub, all his mates, Smithy and Irvine and them. I'm not. I'm going to go for 4-1 to Liverpool. I think they'll absolutely destroy them. They'll not be able to get anywhere near them. They'll just knackered.
Now they've had a long break.
Who? Toon?
Aye.
Do you reckon they've just been beaten in the woods, man?
Aye, that was at the
3
weekend.
days ago. It's not, man. It was only Tuesday. They're playing them on Saturday or Sunday.
Monday night, man.
Is it?
Well, yeah, they've got a full week, man.
Well, I've made my prediction now. I'm sticking with
You
it.
have.
I wouldn't.
You made your bed line it.
Aye. West Ham and Brighton.
West Ham, Brighton. Oh, that's not.
Whoa. Drawing it.
I think so. No, I'll go 2-1 West Ham.
2-1. I'm gonna go for 3 apiece. High score draw. I'll get
Jesus.
50-1 for that.
You get more than that.
Yeah, 50-1.
How and get your predictions in, people.
Aye. And we'll pin them up here. Forest 3, Man United 1. Another hat-trick for Deadwood.
Blinking heck.
Deadwood. Shout out Melly Barnes for all the charity that he does. Thanks, Nicola. Really appreciate that. Aye, so that's what just about done. We've been on for an hour and a half.
Good show.
Mental, man.
There was lots to talk about, wasn't there? And we could have met longer for it, couldn't
Aye, we're good. We could just keep going, but I think people will be starting to watch the game and anybody that's interested.
That's it, aye.
Half-past.
I'll watch the
It's a
game.
good time to end it. I need to edit that as well. Aye, excellent. Thanks very much, everybody, for joining in.
When's the next one?
Really
How doing
appreciate
that?
it. So when's the New Year? Monday.
Aye.
Aye. And that's the last game. The two Liverpool.
New Year's Day, aye. So could maybe
Come on,
try
the
the second or the aye, the second's
Come on,
probably
the second
good.
again.
Aye.
The same time, 6 o'clock.
Aye.
Aye. So we'll see you on the 2nd at 6 o'clock, where we will be talking about
Well,
the games that just happened.
West Ham and Brighton play on the 2nd,
Do
which
they?
is the last game of the fixtures that we've just
That's
predicted.
all right. We'll not get many companies on here. Over. I'll Jordan.
It was more to see
Who's won?
because there's no
Why don't
games
we
on the
come
3rd.
Why don't we come on at 8 o'clock then? Kick off time.
Sure.
Aye.
Right.
Aye.
Okay.
8 o'clock on the 2nd.
Right.
See you then.
See you.
See you over this.
Thanks very much.